There they are, we got our bananas in chat, which lets me know that the live stream is being broadcasted to all of you. So thank you as always for doing that, my peeps there with the bananas in chat, I appreciate ya. You know, I hit go live and I know it takes a few seconds for things to sync up, and so that's always helpful. Cuplex with the late bananas. Cuplex, good to see you, buddy. Now, there are obvious spoilers right over here, but let's call this an exclusive preview, as a lot of you are probably in the know with the shenanigans currently happening on the server. That, whoo, oh, the portal as well. That is something special. The redstone shop location is a little unfortunate now, isn't it? Hey, maybe we could reach out to XP and see what he thinks of that, because that was a really cool shop design. Iscale's going inside. I'm not gonna. That's it. That's all you're gonna see, right? That's all you're gonna see. In fact, that's gonna be our thumbnail for this live stream. I can even see like something off in the distance over there. Yeah, I could go and explore and check it out, but you'll have to wait and watch the video. Also, spoilers in the nether, you know. It's Hermitcraft. There's always spoilers everywhere. We have the May the 3rd stream day rose, and you know that old saying, "May the 3rd be with you." Based on those Star Trek movies, yeah, that old thing. Joe says you can set the thumbnails of live stream. I mean on YouTube, Joe. Like when it goes to YouTube, it will have a thumbnail. Oh, by the way, I did some AFKing over here. How much more did I get? A fair bit. All of this up here was empty, and I filled up that, so that's good. That's good. That's May the 4th. No, May the 4th is Star Wars Day. I was talking about Star Trek Day, you know. May the 3rd be with you. Because of that famous Star Trek thing that it sort of sounds like. So, Joe, thank you ever so much for the raid. Welcome all the people from Joe Hill's stream. It is a Hermitcraft live stream day. I don't have a plug for that, do I? No, I don't have a plug for that. But you can go to livestream.hermitcraft.com to see the schedule for today. Rendog is after me. Looking forward to Rendog's stream. We've got Dub IGK resubscribing for 14 months and Grand Motoring for 2 months. So thank you ever so much and welcome to the stream. We are kicking this off. I'm in a good mood. I know what we're going to be doing. I'm planned and prepared. Let's actually just take a whole bunch of those. We need leaves for our projects in the jungles. So we're going to gather some leaves and we're going to start preparations for a new project. Now, as I fly over here, our indicator of what to do, aha, is chests, because I happen to have a lot of them. So every tree that has a chest on it needs to be taken down and cleared out down to the ground. So that's why I brought this. What I didn't bring, you know, me, Mr. Prepared, showing off. Oh, I know what I'm doing today. I'm focused. Nope. Forgot my axe. I've got plenty of axes and I forgot one. Okay, chuck that in. Did I left the yellow box out over there. Okay, that makes sense. As long as I know. And yeah, this is it. This is our fate. This is the beginning of our stream. We'll be doing other things in the stream, but for now, prepping for a big project. That's what we're doing. Why are there chests, says Rain. I believe I just explained why they are chests. They're my markers. That's what I said. I said that the chests are simply markers for the trees that I need to chop down. Let's try and do these two together. Hop back and forth between them. It's actually oak leaves that go on the floor of the jungle, but I don't mind mixing it up. They look very similar, and the main purpose of using the leaves in the jungle is to stop mob spawning. Missing honey block at the tower, says Jeng. It's because we never actually finished the tower, believe it or not. Like, oh, it's so bad to not finish projects, but I still don't know what to do with the rest of the top of that. I will invest some time into that this week, and I will invest some time into other buildings as well. I invested some time into what's going to go in below us right now. So there's making videos, you know, there's making videos and doing live streams. That takes time, and then if I want to do these big towers and projects, they take preparation time, right? When I'm not actually making a video, I need to be able to suss out everything that's going to be a part of these builds. And that takes sometimes a lot of time, sometimes not so much, but It's a balance. It's a balancing act. Get the unbreaking shears, says Mr. Red. I don't want the unbreaking shears because iron is disposable, and the unbreaking won't really make it last for that much longer. So, you know, I could put mending on the shears, but then I'd be forever visiting a, you know, it's disposable. That's what you got to remember. Now, let's say that the shears had a great application if we put an enchantment on it, like fortune, for example. I don't think you can do that, but just thinking out loud. If you had fortune on it, then you'd have a reason to use it with fortune on. Therefore, it would be good to preserve your fortune enchantment. But since there is no reason, it makes sense to use a disposable material to just, you know, burn through a whole bunch of shears. No point putting enchantments on them. Stellian there in chat, sharing the Hermitcraft livestream day calendar over on Twitter. For some reason, it hasn't updated on the website, which I don't understand, because I've uploaded the same image to the website. So we had a little bit of time zone confusion going on. That's quite common, you know. Time zones change and they're tricky to figure out. So we had to go and fix it all last minute. So now the website and the Twitter are inconsistent from one another. Hey X minigame where you go down a wall of honey with obstacles, says Joe Mama. Oh, call it sliding down. That's kind of super simple and sounds really fun. I'm making a note. I really quite like that. Gonna have to think on that idea a bit more. So we've got more noises in the ear. We've got Alfman 007 for 5 months, Bisley 101, Interstellar Dong, Anna Bomb Banana. We've got Simple Howl for 2 months, and Spark of Music also for 2 months. So thank you everyone for your incredible support. We've also got Bean Choir Boy here with cheers and bits, saying January 17th is Star Trek Day, #derp. Using the wrong hashtag. I'll give you a hint. The hashtag you're looking for begins with the letter T, and it ends in the letter L. Okay? It's not tool. Oh, don't call me a tool. Jeez. It's just trying to be a troll, not a tool. Goodness me. Maybe I'm both. Anyway. January the 17th doesn't sound like live long and prosper. I guess, I don't know. What's the reason? I don't know the reason. Anyway, the reason that Star Wars is May the 4th is because May the Force be with you. I read something recently that apparently Disney are trying to now like copyright, monopolize, capitalize on that saying, and people were rebelling against it. So I don't know what people's plans are if you're a big Star Wars fan for tomorrow, but I don't know if like boycotting's happening or something weird like that. But who knows? The whole culture of that day might change if Disney upset fans, I guess. Okay, is this one I'm supposed to tear out? Because it don't have a chest on it, but it's got plenty of leaf blocks falling down upon it. Let's just do the ones with the leaf. Speaking of which, though, okay, there's that. That annoys me. Let's use a rocket for this one, so I can kind of get a look behind me as well. See what we're doing here. X, why does England have less bugs than USA? If you mean actual bugs like insects, well, they're different countries with different climates and types of continent and ecosystems and biosystems. There's a whole magnitude of factors there that could potentially explain the differences, but I'm no expert on any of them. But that's the gist of it, right? You know, different place on the planet for one. Yeah, let's take out this one next. There's a reason I brought shulker boxes with me, by the way. It's to put the jungle leaves in. And the jungle wood. Goodness me, we're getting tons of it again. Apparently I stripped some. I don't remember doing that. Jeez, this game. That's a bug. Speaking of bugs, yeah, that's a bug. I'll be celebrating May the 4th by watching Babe Pig in the City. I remember that movie. There were 2 of them, weren't there? Go up the vines, haha, says Hazelcool. I could have used the vines, yeah. But I didn't even think of that, did I? Wow, this tree's like a big... Basically, it's a whole bunch of trees. It's got like 3 or 4 chests on it. I've gone overboard with the chests. Right, we've got noises in the ear from Surprise tea, the one and only for 28 months. I mean, what a perfect reminder that I've got a hot cup of tea here. What a surprise. You know, usually I forget. I mean, we're 10 minutes in. It is literally perfect time to drink this cup of tea. So I appreciate you resubscribing, Surprise tea. You've saved the cup of tea from going cold. It will now make its way down to my belly. Thank you for your 28 months. We've got Is Your Boy 123, Sylvan DG 17, JG Films for 2 months, Remuko for 23 months, and the return of the Remuko. Hi y'all. Welcome back, buddy. Thank you for 23 months of support. Co Violaz in chat says, I'm in a situation where I'm failing in school because I have not been doing my work. I realise this because I have no motivation to care, to actually fix my grades. Do you have any advice? Yes. Yes. Don't focus on being motivated. Focus on doing. Okay? Focus on, no matter how you feel, you know it's important to do that thing, and do it. Alright, motivation will come and go. But if you do what you know you need to do, you will get things accomplished, and that's what's important. You know, it's not always important just to be in the moment and do what you feel like doing. Sometimes you've got to have that bigger picture view. You've got to see that, you know, hardship today is reward tomorrow. Essentially. Have you seen Tango Scavenger's teleportation system? I have. I was inquiring, and I forgot about this. I was inquiring a way that we could get that fixed so it works on here. And also we got Bean Choir Boy with more cheers and bits, saying NCC 1701 is the Enterprise registration. Ah, therefore 17th of the 1st. Gotcha. Gotcha. Now I understand. Very cool. Thank you for sharing, dude. Appreciate your support. Thank you for the cheers and bits. Let's keep a chopping. Camera account logged in, says the Aussie. Not mine. This is my regular account. We got Mixen subscribing and DLem001 for 2 months. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Zombie Cleo's red belt. I saw that. I was like, wow, has anyone else actually got the red belt before her? I mean, in a way, I kind of feel like she's won, right? If you've got the red belt. I mean, I'm just a peasant. I'm just a simple old orange belt, you know? Probably Doc, says RJX. I don't think Doc has a belt. I think, despite all his time camping at it, he was always going for red. And he never actually pressed the button, I think. Oh, he has yellow, someone says. Okay. Is this one of the ones we're chopping down? If I'm not sure, I won't do it, because I kind of want to keep as many trees here as I can. Any tips for using the replay mod, says Barney. You know, I could give you loads of tips, because when I use it, for me, replay mod is really quite intuitive. And what we've done in the past on a live stream is create a replay mod and then sort of done a live tutorial, kind of break down what you do. With the replay mod, you really got to get it in your heads that you have control over the pace of time, and what you're doing is you're taking your replay and you're picking a point in time of all the events that happened, and that becomes like your movie, right? From there, you can control the pace, you can control the camera angles, the movement, and once you've built up that like relation in your head of where that sort of starts and ends, because some people, I think, open it up and they get really confused as to how having a timeline that like interacts with the time of events in the world, that gets confusing for people. If you can get your head around that, then it becomes like the studio of manipulation. Like, you get to take control of what's going to be seen. So it's kind of like, once you got the basics down, like it all kind of clicks into place. But then there's like loads of advanced tips for using that program, just things that you might not think of, little like efficiency hacks and tricks. I've picked up quite a lot of them over the years of using it, and you know, off the top of my head, it's really quite difficult to describe in terms of what you're actually doing. It's just like, when I'm editing and putting things together, it just becomes like a flow. One of the things that I've picked up on that is worth doing is to break down your recordings into smaller parts. So rather than like do one massive project in one go, keep doing it in small parts, because it's easier to manage small parts of the replay and get them edited into video files for you to use than it is to take one big thing and create one big time lapse for it. So don't be afraid to mix what you're doing in replay mod with your editing software, so you know that you can make a cut here or a transition there. Like, let's say you can't get a smooth camera transition, just remember you can use your studio to go and edit that later on and just make a cut there, right? So that's another way you want to think about it. You want to think about its relation with your editing software as well. What does your editing software allow you to do? So a lot of the ones that I've been doing, I'd like to say they're quick. They're sort of quick. Sometimes they can be a little slow when I overdo the edits, but yeah, like imagine each scene you're watching, like, and then the video cuts to the next one. That's me in the world doing the thing. Then I get the replay and I edit it straight away, so it's fresh in the mind. I remember that bit where, oh yeah, I did this thing and I want to make sure that's in the replay. So it's all about like getting that good production flow as well, I think. Kind of helpful. X will sell the leaves to Iskall, says the villager. Will I? I don't recall saying that. I'm going to use them myself. I have my own plans for making my base more spawn-proof over time by putting leaves down everywhere. One thing I've noticed is that ocelots spawn a lot more in the jungle. And the other day I like turned around, there were like 6 ocelots all nearby me. It's because I was standing on top of the trees. These torches, by the way, I believe are from an old path to Ethos. And I don't want the torches here anymore because, like, I want the jungle to be completely dark and all of our own builds to be the sources of light. So if you see light, it kind of tells the story that there's something there to go and check out. So yeah, these torches need to come away. Are client-side mods allowed on Hermitcraft? Yes, within reason. You know, we wouldn't like let you use some cheaty, hacky, I don't know, whatever mods, right? Now these ones over here, these are more on Ethos side, so I'm not going to poke out too many more. I don't think he's gone around and torched everything up. It's just, I think I'll leave it at that. That's we're in Ethos area now. R.I.P. torches, says Silly Lily Jilly. Ah, they'll be all right. You know, random scaffolding. What's that doing there? Okay, up we go. Back over to where we were demolishing trees. Okay, we need a bed to sleep in. I need to drink some more tea and read some more noises in the air. We got Diaz for 27 months. Thank you so much, Diaz. Appreciate ya. Captain Damage 23 subscribed. Lifania and Big James 72. Thank you ever so much, peeps. Appreciate it. I wish I could make a living from Minecraft, says Eric. If you want to make a living from Minecraft, you have to very much apply yourself. You have to put in a lot of time and effort, and you have to be prepared to fail because it's a very competitive market. I got in here purely out of interest and by luck. Right place, right time, was just interested. But the key thing I always take away is that I was doing. I was at a point in my life where I realised like I needed to put myself into something. Originally that was music, and then I kind of got distracted from doing the music stuff with a little bit of Minecraft. And I loved it because it really engaged like the creativity of building, redstone engineering, the challenge of like logic and figuring out problem solving. And it was just a combination of right place, right time, really. But the key thing is that I was doing something with myself, you know. So maybe think rather than like, hey, I want to make a living from Minecraft. Just think about whatever your passions and your interests are. Make sure you're following up on them. All right. Don't be someone who likes painting and photography but never does it and always dreams of doing it. Make that time to go do it, and you never know where it will lead you to. Also, if it's something you're interested in, you'll get pleasure from doing it. It doesn't matter if you make a living from it or not, but you'll find you're not going to make a living from something unless you're, you know, actively doing something about that. And if you start off with the mindset of like, hey, I'm going to start up a business and be successful in Minecraft or whatever, that doesn't guarantee you'll get there, you know. So I think it's good to start from a place of like a hobby or something you're just passionate about, you know. Do we have Stress in the chat? Or did she just log in? Do you have any tips and tricks for making YouTube videos, says Matt? I have loads, but, you know, as I always say, if you be more specific, I can give you better advice, because there is a plethora of people on YouTube who give you advice about how to do YouTube. There is no shortage of people in the SEO industry making videos every day about how to grow on YouTube. That's like a heavily saturated market. So if you want something a little bit more specific, it would be far more valuable. Your creeper landing bay looks unstable, so add supports at the top. It looks uneven, I wouldn't say unstable. Oh, you mean that bit? No, I think that looks fine. I mean, well, to be fair, I thought it looked a bit odd, but I showed it in stream and people loved it, so kind of is what it is. Right, now, we got 1 or 2 more trees. And then it's all good, I think. I think this one here's got to come down. Let's get up there. Yep, that one. Ugh, smacked right into it. How are we doing? How are we doing? So much stuff. There we go. People are saying eat, eat, eat. Okay, okay, sorry. Jeez. Sipcole4 has subscribed for 4 months. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Hey X, do you have any tips for finding a YouTubers to join a Let's Play? Says Remelos. Great question, great question. Now, I do not have much experience in joining Let's Plays because the only one I ever joined was Hermitcraft, right? But if I were to hit the reset button, right, let's say, you know, I've got passion of playing Minecraft, I want to start up a group. With everything I've learned from Hermitcraft, what I would focus on doing is finding people that are truly committed to working together. That's a huge part of like success and just enjoying it, is that you find people that are committed. I've seen so many little pop-up SMPs come and go, and it kind of gives you the impression that they're gunning on success, or that like the motivation to do it is in it being successful. So you need people that don't need that motivation to make it successful, ironically, right? Now, if you're not even thinking about the success, then you could probably join any old server, but I would look for people who are committed to playing together for a longer period of time. Maybe passionate Minecraft players who are you know, eager on doing big projects and doing things long term. You know, if you're reaching out to other YouTubers and you can see, hey, they've been making a Let's Play consistently for years, that's a really good sign that they'll stick around and be a part of what you want to do. And what will be the one other thing? Oh yeah, don't rush into it. Don't rush into it as well. Like, don't be inviting any person willy-nilly. Like, get a solid group of people together, get to know each other, play together, figure out if, you know, you get along, of course, and take your time planning it, and make sure you got a good plan for your season and what's the theme of the server, and all of that stuff goes a long way, because a lot of these like pop-up ones that you see, you can kind of tell that maybe there wasn't a lot of thought that went into it. It's just kind of turned up and then it didn't last and went away. X, do you have the video ready for Monday? I have a video ready for Monday, yes. Odin's Dreads is here with cheers and bits, saying Captain's Log, Stardate 0304-2020. I don't know how the Stardate number works, but it's not date like that, is it? It's some other like system, and they always got a decimal in it. They're always like 0.3 or something. So I have no idea how Stardates work. I should look that up. Watching Asuma on a live stream. Mood. Content with his content. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Hey X, do you think that camera account is cheating? No, camera accounts like take what we do to the next level. Like, think about all the little third-person views and time lapses you see in the game. Like, that's all for the sake of content. You see, we're not just playing Minecraft, we're creating videos and entertainment. So there are levels to this stuff, and a camera count is like an essential part of bringing a higher production value to your videos. It makes a world of difference to watch a video, and while someone's talking about what they're doing, and I'm building this and building that, you're also seeing things from a different angle. That stuff like goes a long way, and it really brings you into the world. Crumpy Pants says, how does that X manage getting anything done with so many questions? Well, I don't read all the questions, do I? You know, every now and then I stick my head up and pick out something from chat to read. Eric says, Asuma is my favourite streamer, but I don't watch him on YouTube. I feel like I'm cheating. It's fine, dude. If you prefer how I do things here than to how I do things on YouTube, fine by me. Just glad to have you watching. Because it is different. It's totally different. Like, the energy is so different to sit here for 2 hours and talk than to be in a Minecraft world for 8 hours and occasionally like perking up for 1 minute to talk. Like, it's a very different process. Okay, we've got to find another tree now. I don't think that one's coming down. This one here might. Doesn't have a chest on it though, so you can kind of see like a bit of a square shape emerging now. So you can see that it's all sort of revolving around the space. It's a good sign that we're doing it right, I guess. X, where do you need the leaves for? All over the jungle, basically. Wherever there's places there aren't leaves, I need to put them. Oh, look. Oh, look. Ye old starter chest. First axe. Hashtag first axe. First pick. First diamond pick. Forgot about that. One day I'll collect that and put it in my museum. Yeah, having these huge plans to do mega builds, like, it kind of takes away from enjoying mementos and like the smaller details. And this season for me was supposed to be a different approach, and then I just pivoted straight back to doing mega builds. Next season, I am, without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to see me change my play style. If you look at like Ethospace, for example, or BOO, like they're putting in like tons of time and effort. But it's into like more decision making and like figuring out aesthetics. So I spend a lot of time grinding materials and then putting them all into a big shape like that. Whereas you can also spend a lot of time focusing on small details, and that's what I need to do. I probably should have done that this season, but hey, I felt like pivoting straight back to, you know, my typical way of doing things. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to it, but next season, definitely going to have to flex that muscle, you know. Like, I think I'd really enjoy just building, you know, a small house, but putting all this, like, detail and whatnot into it, and then staying in a small environment, because what's fun about the jungle base is that you move from tower to tower all the time, and that becomes your environment. So the travelling between the locations is fantastic, and it really works with the scale. But next season, that scale is going to be flipped. It's going to be like, it's all about staying in a small area and making that small area as immersive as possible. So it'll be totally different. Etho and Scar also do that with their bases. Yeah. I mean, there's a few players, right? Like I did say, Etho, Scar would be one. Okay, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have chopped this one here down, but it's kind of one of those weird trees without a base that we've seen in the jungle a fair bit. Cool, right, that is some resources right there. Plenty of leaves, plenty of wood. I crafted up stacks of hoppers yesterday, and I've still got loads of woods lying around. Loads of woods, plural, I guess. Oop, don't need you. Again, that is it. I think we've got all of the trees in this area, so there is a project of building going on in this space. Oh, it looks like I started chopping something down over here and didn't finish the job, so let's get in here, and I'm going to leave that tree, I think. And then with one of those jungle leaves, we shall make that look like normal. And that is going to do me, my friends. That is going to do me. The plural of wood is still wood. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Akafi says, watched you since the Wastelands. Bring back the chain helmet. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. I could reinvest in the chain helmet at some point. Kind of a thing to do, really, isn't it? I'll add that to my list of notes. Chain helmet. Chain helmet. Alec Moore has subscribed. Alec Moore, thank you so much for subscribing, dude. Appreciate it. And peeps, thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got over 5,000 people here. Be sure to hit the follow button if you haven't done so here on Twitch. And so you know, after I've done streaming today, there's more Hermits. There's more Hermitcraft action for the rest of the day. It's part of a live stream day. Yeah, going back to that question about joining an SMP or being successful or whatnot, like, a key thing you need in a group of people is organisation and communication. Communication about, what people want to do, people's feelings, working together. Like, communication is a really important thing and part of being a group. And organising as well. So, like, the Hermitcraft live stream days, I'm like the organising person. I'm always like, if we're going to do something, someone's got to organise it, I'll do it. And then it makes things like this happen, right? And the live stream days have clearly been a huge success. People love them. So if you're starting your own thing, remember, like, organisation is really important. Get people involved in activities, and you need someone to do that. If you're not the person to do that yourself, your group will benefit from having someone who can organise and enjoys doing that. Okay, so we got 2 completely empty shulker boxes. They can go into the empty shulker box pile. That is a lot of empty shulker boxes, I agree. Sticks. Okay, I've got 1 stick. Actually, no, I've got more than 1 stick, haven't I? It's a little bit pointless, but sticks are fuel, so they go in the fuel chest. And we've got tons of wood, and what are we looking for? We're looking for the oak leaves, really. So I will take those and take these. We can now continue with project number 2, which is the base of the Creeper Tower area. So when I'm over here AFK, mobs will be able to spawn down here on the ground. So I need to come around, just make sure all of the grass is covered up. And I could do this a lot. But we're just going to stick to the areas close to the tower. It's a little bit tedious, but it's totally worth it. Stephman says, oh god, the bitrate. The bitrate is good on my end. And we've got loads of noises in the ear, so let's keep up on top of them. MK O'Brien 76 has subscribed to Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate your subscription there. We have Ramuku with a donation saying, as a former member of one of those small SMPs that went and have gone too crafty, it's also changes in life that make them go. We all got preoccupied with other things that sadly made things impossible. Yeah, absolutely right. Yep, other people can, other things can happen in life and get in the way. When I said, like, you're looking for consistency, someone who's, like, done a Let's Play for years, that's a sign that things, that things are perhaps more stable for them. But, of course, anything can change. One of the things about Hermitcraft and how we don't face that issue to an extent is that because it's successful, it has become many hermits, or pretty much, I think all but just 1 or 2 hermits, like, jobs basically. And then once it's your job, then that gives you a huge amount of stability, because people don't have to, like, have things like jobs and other commitments pulling them away as much as this is the commitment. So that's a big part of Hermitcraft's success, undoubtedly, is that once it starts turning people into full-timers, like that keeps people able to play and able to stick around. So if you're starting out your own thing, maybe you've got similar ambitions, that's a big game changer right there. But as I did say, like, you can't really go into it expecting that to happen. It's an extraordinary, like, Hermitcraft isn't just here, it's years and years of people grinding away on YouTube doing their thing. And the end result of that is this moment right now. Is Hermitcraft your full-time job? Says N Jits. Well, doing Twitch and doing YouTube, that's my job. Without Hermitcraft, it would be different, but I don't know if I'd be able to sustain myself or not. like these things are all connected, because I do snapshot videos as well, and I used to do other sorts of content. So who knows really, but yeah, very much a big part of it, undoubtedly. Okay. We are like near the river now. Gone off track. We got a noise in the ear from Mr. Tominus05, with cheers and bits, saying, "Love you, was just watching your videos, keep up the good work." Thank you ever so much for a lovely message, dude. I appreciate your support. We also got Big James72 with the cheers and bits saying hashtag orange team. Hashtag orange team indeed. Although, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler, an exclusive preview. I ain't going to be on the orange team for much longer. You'll have to find out in tomorrow's episode, you'll see. Things are happening on the server. Okay, over here near the edge, I'm not going to bother with this stuff too much more. Be nice if there was a way for me to know where all these little spaces are. Maybe after AFKing, I'll notice there's mobs down on the ground, and then I can go seek out the little spots where they spawn. But so far, this middle area, really good. Covered most of that. Right, and then we've got to do sort of the prep work down the bottom here. Another thing to watch out for is vines. I do not want them growing over this building. No vines, no thank you. Right, we got a donation here from Damien, saying, "Loving the content. In what accent do you speak? It sounds kind of East Anglian, but it makes me wonder." Well, it's regional, for sure. I'm going to have to let you guess what region it is. As, you know, it's where I live, essentially. But thank you ever so much for the donation, dude. I appreciate it. We got Glinty, OW, subscribe with Amazon Prime, DJ Lovey, Kitty2858, all subscribe with Amazon Prime. Appreciate it. We also got Mr. Tomness again with more cheers and bits, saying keep up the good work, love ya. Thank you ever so much, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you again for more cheers and bits. As you know, I'll continue to be making videos and content for time to come. It's very much my passion. What I love doing. Hey, we lit up this cave. So I'm going to cover up the entrance. Actually, I think I didn't finish. Yeah, oh my goodness me. I remember this. I was like, I lit up this cave and then I realised I never came back and lit up the other side. But apparently that's as far as it goes. So there's my other great caving adventure. Oh, it's just 5 torches. Great. There we go. More leaves, please. More leaves, sir. We got Gabrioni24 subscribing with Amazon Prime, and Madasek has subscribed with Prime as well. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Right, big area here that needs covering in, obviously. The way I did it back over at the other base was I put logs in as well, but you're never really going to notice, especially in an area like this where you're not down here, actually getting in and amongst it all and seeing what's going on. So I ain't going to be doing that, that's for sure. Just extra work, really. Alright, is there a gap there? There is. So we should be seeing that most of this middle area is done, because we did it on another live stream. The last one we did. Oh, it's dark down here, isn't it? It's dark. It makes me think I'm going to run into a mob, but it's all mob proof. Yeah, so we've pretty much done a really good job there. I think we just got to do the back side of that. Here we go, a little bit more over here. And a little bit down here. A little bit over here, a little bit of bamboo going on. I like that there's the occasional bit of bamboo. Also makes it nice and easy to get a bamboo farm going. A bamboo farm is actually something I want to do soon. I want to get a fuel source going for our smeltery system. That great behemoth of a project that is taking far longer to do than I thought. But hey, it'll all be worth it in the long run. It's all infrastructure for the end game, remember? We haven't built out a lot of infrastructure just yet. Cool, we got a noise in the ear donation here from Malcolm FS, saying, "Hey X, I really love your content, keep up the good work." Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate your support with a donation. Thank you for doing that, and I will continue. What's that? peeps, I'm going to be right back. Oh! I thought I'd muted my mic, I hadn't anyway. I heard a massive thud and a crash. It sounded very close by, but I couldn't see anything. Walked around the house, nothing out of the ordinary, so must have just been something nearby outside. Kinda loud though, it's like, whoa. It was kinda loud, right. Yeah, we're kind of getting through this little area and turning into the back area of that tower. My god, the vines, they just grow. I think they should implement a growth system for vines so they can't grow crazy long. That would be a really smart idea if you ask me. A little bit more over here. Right, where were we? That totally like threw me off my rhythm. Like, have to hit the reset button now because I'm not entirely sure where we were at. There's quite a lot back here, isn't there? I think we're getting a little bit too far away from the area that actually needs it, though. Hey, I need to eat some food. Right, Weebo Warrior has subscribed. Mr. Chef Guy, or Chief Guy. Mr. Tomness is here with more cheers and bits, saying I don't have any more money to spend, and in times like this it's important that someone makes content. I will say what I have said before, and will say again. You know, if you don't have much money, dude, keep your cheers and your bits. Well, I guess you can't convert them back into money, can you? But, yeah, in terms of donations, peeps, don't worry about me. I'm alright, I'm doing okay. If you need the money, hold on to it for yourself, especially in these times, right? You know, if you've got money to spare and that's what you want to do, that's fine, but I don't want anyone out there who's struggling sending it my way, you know? That's, it's a time to look after yourself and be smart. So yeah, thank you for your cheers and bits, dude, though. I, of course, appreciate that. Just, don't go spending no more money on them if you need it for yourself, you know? Right, look at this. We are getting there. Do those need filling in? Yep, down here they need filling in. The mobs can spawn down. It's dark as well. They love it in spots like this. I'm surprised we haven't encountered a single mob, actually, so far. I would have expected to have seen something. So I don't know quite what I'm going to do about the water bit here, as I do sort of want to fill in this area. So I'm going to look at my list of jobs. You see, whenever I undertake something big and new, like perhaps filling in all of this and expanding the project in this area, I keep thinking, hang on a minute, what about getting other things done first, right? Because I've created so many jobs for myself in this jungle. So we need to make sure we balance things. So we'll finish placing some leaves and then we'll check the list and see what we're going to do next. But pretty much there. We've got to do around this hill and then just on top of it, I believe. So I know it's not the most exciting thing, but hey, that's what live streams are for. A little bit of doing the grind, hanging out, and spending all our leaf blocks by the looks of it. Hey X, can you please wish my sister Melissa a happy birthday? Her birthday is in 2 days. I love happy birthday to you. T-Boy, well, first of all, happy birthday Melissa in advance. But if you come back in 2 days, I'll be streaming and, you know, we can throw a round of happy birthdays in chat. On the day. Are you planning to make any other farms? Absolutely. I love making farms, right? Farms is most of what I do in this game. I've been umming and ahhing about what farm to do next, but as I do various little projects, I'm trying to also finish up some of the farms I've started, like the concrete chamber stuff is taking me forever to figure out. Yeah, what else is there? Like, I'm going to build a wool farm soon. If you watch some of my early episodes, I actually kind of like went over my plans in quite a bit of detail. So you'll know the gist is that like we're going to use up this area to build towers, and each tower has its own like project farm in it. Cool, there's quite a few blocks here I've missed. But we're getting them now, and that's what counts. That's what counts, right. Where's my rockets at? A little bit just over here on the edge. It's quite a bit here, actually, look. How did I miss all of this? Right. Check the other side of the hill, and I think we're done. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's all we're going to be doing. Sweet. So now, oh yeah, we also need to sort out the bone blocks here, so let's go grab some of those. Hey! Hey! Whoa! Jeez, there we go. Do you read the comments on your videos, X? Says McCoy. I read some of them. Unfortunately, video comments have degraded in value immensely. Back when I started YouTube, people used to give you like feedback and thoughts, and these days it's just memes. Oh, it's like you can't do anything without someone trying to turn it into a meme. You know, it feels like it. I mean, at the end of the day, people are there watching the videos and enjoying the content, but the way memes try and make a mockery of everything, it kind of feels like it almost sets a tone of like people are almost embarrassed to watch your videos. It would seem, you know, with all the silliness in the memes. That tea is now cold. Great. I didn't drink it all in time. Anyway, I drink most of it, so that's good. Better than usual, right? Let's go throw away these shears and those things. Keeping that inventory nice and clean, remember? Okay, and what was the thing I needed next? Bone blocks, right? Should be a chest full of them somewhere in here. There we go. I think I might need a few more than that. Let's just grab those and then head over there. Who's next? Says Professor Donut. Rendog is next. As Winnie says in chat, yeah, I've lost Clod. I've lost Clod, so until I find Clod, there'll be no more Clod. But maybe it should be an opportunity to rethink the whole Clod thing. Maybe we can make it more fun than just like, hey, there's this thing here. Maybe there's like a goal, an objective, a game element to it. Like, we could take it to the next level. Right, around here, yeah, it's all good there. I think that might have actually been it. Isn't there a bit that looks messy at the front? Oh, that's probably it then. So I didn't need stacks of bones. Well, there you go. Oh. How did I not notice that earlier? Feels like I should have noticed that sooner. Just left that there, did I? How are we doing on gunpowder? Like, the rates, I can't remember what they were before, but they should at least be a little bit more efficient now I've been putting in all this work. Yeah, they're doing alright. I don't need a crazy amount, so it doesn't need to be super efficient anyway, but it's fun to get the efficiency. Also, you know, I got the witch farm provided me with stupid amounts of gunpowder, so yeah, that kind of makes this pointless. In fact, because of that, I'm probably never going to AFK there, now that I think about it. Jeez, pointless projects, right? Okay, so a little bit of an inventory tidy up, I guess. That over here, that back into the ender chest. I do have a chest rule. Oh wait, the one I just put back. You can also put these things in it. And this is why you organise as you go. Keep your inventory nice and clean. chests in there for a project. And the scaffolding in here. Sweet. Check the Herald. Yeah, I'll let you people read the Herald if you want to. This is an opportunity for me to load up my notes, my live stream jobs list, as I have a little list because I'm prepared and organised. So what do we have on this list? And where is it? I can't even find it. There it is. Yeah, done those two things. So we could work on the blast area. That's pretty much it, really. I don't feel like doing these other things. Oh, Bushy Boy, to reply to you, I'm not offended by people posting my memes in my comments. I never use the word offense because I am not offended. What I said was it downgrades the value of them. My experience of the comments was once this place that I couldn't wait to go and read what people thought of my videos, and I would get stuff, really cool feedback saying, hey, that bit you did there in the video, that was cool. I still get some of that actually. The time-lapse I did in the last video provoked some comments like that, especially when I did sort of the twirly stuff and using the sideways camera angle. Like, that was really great to read. That's what I was looking for, because I was like, oh, excellent, you enjoyed that. And some people were also then suggesting that, hey, you could also do this as well. And like, that's what I look for in comments, right? That's what I'm looking for. And if I go to my comments and it's like, I don't know, someone puts like, X has 700 episodes of Hermitcraft. Hermitcraft, silence, or like, or nobody, simply nobody, and it's just like, like they're just trying to turn everything into a joke, and it's frankly not amusing to me. A lot of the meme jokes don't, like, that's not my sense of humor. So my experience of the comments is just, like, it's just endless. That it's like, it's really not great. And you know, one of the things that started to turn the tide and degrade the value of them in my experience was that YouTube started implementing this thumbs up system, right? You thumbs up comments. So then people want to post comments that get thumbs up, and then it just means you get less kind of thoughtful, useful, kind of engaging, interacting comments, and you just get like jokes. And so, you know, I go there just to kind of check and spot that someone hasn't written, oh, the video's black and you've ruined the upload, or there's something wrong with it, you know. I just go there to check that, you know, things haven't fallen apart. Beggar says, I'm not a big fan of the whole meme thing. It feels like it's taken the platform over. Yeah, I feel like that as well. Like, it's taken the platform over. It's not just my videos, it's pretty much anyone's. And like, going to the comments used to be this thing where like the content of the video would be expanded because there would be discussion. There's no discussion anymore. There's just people trying to make laughs and upvotes. It's kind of like Reddit, actually. Reddit is a place I kind of go to air quotes waste time. Like, if I'm sitting on the oh, I just reminded myself, right? I signed up for brilliant.org, and then the coronavirus thing hit, and I didn't have my days off where I'd find like a little bit of time to do the Brilliant courses. I should use the toilet for that, like, because if I sit down on the toilet, I'm gonna open my phone and look at Reddit for a bit. I should use that to like do some of the courses on Brilliant. That's what I need to get in the habit of doing. I need to develop that habit. I really do. It's like a note to self. So yeah, Reddit was one of those places where like you would read some story and I would think, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I want to know more about that. And like, you could never go to the comments to learn more because everyone was making a succession of jokes. It was like one person would make a joke, then the next person would, and so on. Like off of each other's replies, like chains of jokes, and they're always the same sort of thing. And people were just doing it for like comment karma, and it kind of made it like, you know, here's this site with all this commenting and interacting, yet when I go to read the comments, it's usually just people in a chain of jokes. And yeah, it kind of like degraded the experience there a little bit. Thing is, it was always like that. Reddit is a toilet app, says Why was my username taken? Why was your username taken, eh? Who took it? Didn't they know you wanted it? Jeez, rude. Yeah, speaking of habits, right, in our last live stream we talked a little bit about a podcast I was listening to, and I'm going to recommend it again. It's on Sam Harris, it's his podcast, and if you go to his website you can download it from there. I can't give you specifics because I get them through email, but his latest one, still believe it's the latest one, brilliant interview of a bloke who wrote a book about habits, and you know, habits are life-changing things, right? Yesterday we discussed how a bad habit is usually reward in the immediate, and over time it becomes something negative, i.e. eating donuts. Having a donut today, fantastic. Having a donut every day, not so good over time. You know, going for a run today, if you've only just started to do stuff like exercise, not good. You're not going to enjoy it. Doing it every day for years, eventually you'll become a runner and you'll love it. It's a really insightful way at looking at it. And I hadn't finished listening to the whole thing, and I got to finish listening to it later that day, yesterday, because it was yesterday we last streamed and talked about it. And he talked about, you know, some more things in depth that are really good. Not all of it's coming to mind right now, but the one thing that really stuck in my head was the idea of forming a habit as ritualistic behavior, as something you just instinctively do, but also thinking about how you develop habits and how to make them positive, right? So let's say you want to get into running to better your health. You could, after you've had a run, treat yourself to something you really like. I don't know what that could be. Maybe it's a food or a drink. You know, obviously going for a run and having a big slice of pizza is like a little bit counterintuitive, but you know what I mean. Like, you give yourself a little bit of pleasure, but you associate the two. And he talked about this guy who lost 100 pounds of body weight, and the way that they did it was by forming a strong habit of going to the gym. But the way in which was what fascinated me. I thought that is brilliant, because there are some habits that I want to get back into. Like I was doing meditating, and I think one of the things that got frustrating about meditating is the course I was on was like propelling me into 15-20 minute sessions, and I was probably getting ahead of where it was working for me, and then it became like a frustrating thing more than a relaxing and helpful thing. I've totally forgotten why I came back over here. It might be for clay, actually. We might need to go grab some clay from somewhere, because we're running out of it, right? So anyway, I might try this for meditation myself, but what the guy did is he would get in his car, drive all the way over to the gym, get into the gym, exercise for 5 minutes, and then leave. And that sounds almost absurd, right? But it's brilliant, because it's easy to go to the gym for 5 minutes. It might be a pain in the bum to do all this driving around to get there and stuff, but 5 minutes in the gym, anyone can handle that. It's just 5 minutes. So this guy set out to create a habit of going to the gym and started with something very simple and easy. And although like that may intuitively make sense, because if I look back on how I got into running, that's sort of similar to what I did. Knowing it like verbally and being able to think it through allows you to develop a strategy for approaching other habits you want to develop, and then like applying that principle. And it's so clever just to go for 5 minutes, because then going to the gym becomes a part of like a habitual routine of like, it's just gym time, you go, and then, you know, it's also not like burdensome and annoying because you're only doing like 5 minutes of exercise. And then after a while, that 5 minutes becomes 10 minutes, right? And yeah, it's just like you build the habit by not throwing yourself in the deep end. You warm it up, you start it in a good situation. And so this podcast just gives you like tons of like food for thought on how to approach having habits and how to develop them, and having that frame of mind to look at habits that way, I think is really powerful. Really powerful, because then you can form them effectively for yourself, which is what you want to do. You know, you can form habits, you might not form them in the best way you could, and so having all this food for thought is just really valuable in my opinion. And it's all of it's kind of in a weird way stuff I sort of already knew, but hearing it like expressed again through someone else's words always give you like new insights into it. So it was super cool. I try this method of reading more. I read 1 page or 3 or 4 a day. Slowly I read more and more, says Taubar. That's great, yeah, that's a really great way. Isolatosis says, what's the podcast? It's Sam Harris' latest one. So if you go to I think it's samharris.org, and look for his latest podcast, it's with a guy who wrote a book on habits, and I think habits is in the name of his book, but it was something, it sounded a bit radical. It had like a radical kind of name to it, like some word in it or something that was interesting. My habit is watching your videos, says SlugG Alpha. Well, you know, like, but let's say you watched my videos while on the treadmill. Well, then you can create a very powerful habit of working out to some extent. You know, you're on the treadmill, moving, your body's moving. It's good for you. That's another thing they talked about, pairing habits. That's what I've done with Final Fantasy VII. I only play it when I'm on my treadmill. So if I play it, like if I've got time to play it for an hour, that's an hour of like getting on the treadmill right there, which is great. And I'm going to do that today, you know. Tin C Tour says, I'm legit lifting weights when watching the stream. Awesome, dude. I had my workout earlier today. I enjoyed it. I can't do anything other than listen to music. Like, for me, like, I can't listen to a podcast when I work out. It's just too distracting. And I feel like music is very second nature in my mind. I don't really have to think to feel it. And so I can focus on like technique and performance and whatnot. Blowbert says, did you walk or run? I can't run whilst holding controller. I do fast walking, you know, like walking at sort of peak pace. The book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear, says Matt Ratzamat. Yeah, Atomic Habits. Oh, see, I knew it had like a radical name in it, that being the word atomic. So we need more clay. I need to get a map of the world up. So how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Give me a moment, peeps. I'm going to have to launch a mist. And if I remember, a mist sometimes interrupts our capture of the stream. So there might be some technical hiccups coming your way. Technical hiccups hype. Let's launch the mist. Atomic meaning the smallest invisible part, says Sigma 5 squared. Yeah, atomic habits. That makes a lot of sense because in a part of it, I'm just making a note. In a part of it, he talks about a cycling team that, like, kind of, they won loads of stuff, but they started by looking for all these like individual percentiles. So a lot of the fundamentals of cycling and getting good at it is like well understood. So they started to look for all these little percentages that could possibly give their athletes an advantage. Things like optimizing the comfort of sleep, so you get better sleep, and painting their rooms white, but they work on the bikes so that any like bits of dust becomes more visible. Really clever stuff. Oh, apparently if we just fly straight north of here, we will get to where we want to go, which I forgot, I guess. I forgot there was a swamp over here. I do 4 to 6 kilometre walks with my mum to get fresh air and exercise while in quarantine, says Piggly Pig. That is a great habit. Keep it up. I hope you're enjoying it. I love walking. I think walking's terrific. Just, especially when you get deep into a walk. If, you know, like a little 20-minute walk or whatever is always refreshing. But if you go for like an hour-long walk and you start to, like, your body obviously gets exhausted, that's the bit I really like, when you're in that, you know, your legs start to hum sort of stage. That's really enjoyable. Hey, wait a minute. Am I fully optimized to instant mine this stuff? No. Why is that? Respiration. I need Aqua Infinity, right? That's what I need. Let's go get some Aqua Infinity up in here. Hey, let me fly, please. Let me fly. I have a bit of a belly, and I've started to exercise at the home every day at night for more than a month now, and eating healthier, but I'm not telling anyone. I really want to tell my girlfriend, but I'm waiting for some results. I don't know if wanting to tell everyone is motivating me or not. Dude, I think you've taken the right approach to not tell people. When you tell people that you are trying to achieve something, there is this effect where people will often be positive back to you, right? They'll go, oh yeah, that's great, keep at it. Psychologically, that's going to create a reward before you have actually earned it. And I've seen this happen in with one of my friends actually, like quite a few times, that they lay bare their plans, they get that big reward from everyone who wants them to succeed, and then it doesn't happen. So I think you should just wait, just keep doing it, right? And you'll probably find it's far more gratifying when that comes without you having to prompt it from anyone. But also, if you do prompt it from other people, you're going to get that full sense of gratification, even though you've already been doing it for months, right? Like, just you wait, I reckon. That's the way to do it. And also, if you are getting into like a good groove with exercising, always try to do a little bit more. That's the thing I like to do. I like to just try and push a little bit further, and then a bit further next time. I mean, don't push yourself too much. You've got to figure out your own comfort zone, but always make sure you're trying to progress a little bit further. When I was running, I would like get quite deep into it sometimes, and then like most of my runs is just like I'm on my treadmill, and it's just like I'm telling myself I'm going to stop soon. And then I just keep going and keep going. And then you get deep into this territory where you're like, hang on a minute, I've been on here longer than I was last time. And then that's the bit I really like, where it's like, how much longer can I keep going for? Because you don't have to listen to that voice that says get off anymore. You've done your dues now. You've been on here for longer. And there are other little habits you can pick up as well that are really great. For example, like moving around is just helpful. If you're going to eat the same amount like every day, the more movement you do in that day, you know, you're going to have a bigger deficit for losing weight. There is, if you're a calorie counter and you want to do it that way, there is margins you should watch out for. I've heard that going below 25% deficit of your total calorie input is like on long term is going to be possibly damaging to your body. You know, you're going to start to eat into muscle tissue a little bit. What am I looking for again? Aqua Infinity? Might have to go to looky at my bookie. I think we're going to have to go there. By the way, I don't have mending on here on my stinger, so let's take care of that. Let's take care of that. Yeah, so there are like micro habits that you can pick up as well. One of them that I really like is walking around. I used to, in between lifting weights, sit and rest, and then I was listening to a podcast with this guy who says, no, keep your heart rate higher and move around. And it actually made a huge difference. Like, obviously I would move around more, so I'd burn more calories, but keeping your heart rate up, like, keeps the blood pumping through your body, so it makes the workouts kind of more effective, it feels like. Okay, looky at my bookie. Why is there one missing here? Where did I leave the orange? Oh, probably over... okay, I know where that is. Okay, yeah, we'll come back and get that in a bit. So yeah, anyway, like when you get a phone call from someone, don't sit down and take it. Start walking. Just walk up and down the stairs a couple of times. Like, these are like little micro strategies. These are like these little extra percentiles, right? If you do that every day, if you develop the habit of doing that, it goes towards your goal of cutting a bit of weight down, right? So yeah, always look to do that a little bit more, and try and develop clever little habits like that. I can't sit down whilst on the phone, says Shadowfan. Well, neither can I, because I like to move, so I get up and move around. Okay, Aqua of the Infinity. Where be the Aqua that is infinite? The aquatic infinite, where are you? I feel like I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Took me a while. Oh, everyone's like, top row, top right, top right. Thank you, peeps. Thank you, peeps. Now, Corrales is a smart man. He's a businessman. He knows that you should put an ender chest in your shop. There we go. Take care of that one. I know I've got a book of that somewhere, but hey, it's convenient. Also, there's an anvil here. Another great idea, you know. Let your customers make their modifications on site. The Hive Mind, my friends, now has 25. That's pretty cheap. Wait, did I pay? I didn't pay. Now I have paid. Sweet. And we can go. And we can go. Best time of the day to work out is early in the morning. If you seek to get better results in the early hour mornings, you have a hormonal profile, testosterone being highest in the morning. Interesting. That is a good point. How much of a difference it makes, I'm not sure, but those little percentages add up in the long run. I personally find the earlier in the day I work out, the better. I also find it's great to eat before I work out. I did a lot of working out fasted for many years. It would like just be the way that I did it. Although, you know, this is anecdotal, and these changes also came with other shifts as well, right? Like, it wasn't like this was the one element I changed. I was also learning how to work out smarter and how to program and target different muscle groups, and I was learning more exercises. So, like, a whole lot of the vocabulary of things I could do was expanding. But I used to always do it fasted, and now I will always have a meal that's relatively high carb with some fruit. I mean, well, fruit is carbs, right? But get that fruity sugar, fructose energy in your system, and then about an hour and a half later, start the workout, and just got so much more energy for it. Sloth, Jeff Nippard's one of the people I've learned most of this stuff from. Him and Athlean X and Shredded Sports Science are kind of like my go-to channels for learning things. Right, I'm so far behind on the noise. We've just had an absolute waffle again, right? It's always a waffle here on this channel. Jeez. Let's get some clay. Let's sleep in the bed as well. Let's try and catch up. I don't even know what the last one I read was. I've been waffling for so long. Thunderfrout is here for 3 months. Resubscribe to you instead of Iskal by mistake. At least it wasn't PewDiePie. Well, thank you for your resubscription. Go subscribe to Iskal next month then. That's fine by me, but thank you. Meslo 406 for 2 months said, "What do you think of Minecraft Dungeons?" I really enjoyed it. It seemed pretty darn good. I just really wanted to play it with other people and never got organised enough to play it with others. So when it actually comes out, if some of us hermits are going to be playing it, I might bring that up again. So like, hey, let's do some live streams, you know. One of the things I always try and do here is not pick up the dirt, but if I'm just not as fussy, I'll get it done faster. We got an anonymous cheerer with cheers and bits. Well, thank you ever so much for your anonymous cheering. I appreciate it. CKI Defiant has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Sutainari, Carrot Cat Steam, Dear Shemi for 31 months. Juendeg 2004 all subscribing. We got Aidan Mulligan for 3 months. Delta Otech for 3 months as well. And Rocky Avalon for 20 months. Good to see you, Rocky. Welcome to the stream day. Appreciate it. How long do these things usually go on for, says Dankis Mima? About 2 hours is my general stream time. It's also the Hermitcraft stream day average stream time as well. And, you know, in 45 minutes, going to be hanging out with the Rendiggity Dog, who is taking his video editing to the next level every time, man. Whew. I don't know if you lot saw his last episode, but the editing on that was brilliant. And oh, Ren's listening. Oh, well, Ren. I was watching it, and it was casting my mind back to episode 666, where I did some fancy editing and stuff. Like, but man, it's just like it's so much, like, so intense. And because I've had a little bit of experience editing stuff like that, when I'm watching, I'm kind of also understanding the tricks. But there's some bits that I was like not so sure how they were done, which was really good. Like, Ren has really jumped into the role playing. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's fantastic to see him like pivot to something that he enjoys doing like that, because it was kind of like a little bit at first, and then all of a sudden it was just like this big shift where it's like very clear he had found like what works for him. I think many of the hermits have really stepped up the editing this season, says Echo Art. I think we all feed off of one another. Like, there's a constant like drive. You know, you see other people doing things and it inspires you to do things. B-Dubs does this thing where he like cuts to a third-person camera angle in the middle of talking to someone else, and that really got me thinking. The camera angle change is terrific, so I try and employ a little bit of that every now and then. But generally what I focus on at the moment with my videos is trying to be in a state of flow, is trying to like be in the moment and then just follow what happens. You know, like I try and figure myself out and get my day rolling in a direction where when it's recording time, I'm kind of in the right place to do stuff and enjoy it, and then like let it all unfold. So my strategy is more driven by like how I feel when I'm doing it at the moment. But then obviously how I feel means, hey, I want to, you know, do crazy cool time lapses, and so that stuff happens as well. Like tomorrow, I'm not gonna play any more Minecraft after this stream today. I am taking a day off to clean the house and do other jobs and stuff. But yeah, like when I get back to recording, doing a time lapse, gonna be thinking, because I'm looking forward to it, gonna be thinking about all the different camera angles, ways I can make it look interesting, you know. So rather than it be like, hey, I got this thing that I need to do, I'm always kind of focused on making sure I enjoy it. And we got a noise in the ear. It's Paul Oliver, 87 for 8 months, saying thanks for the great content. This season of Hermitcraft is easily the best yet from all hermits. Wow, appreciate that. Thank you. You know, that's what people were saying last season. Jeez, it's crazy. Like, you know, I think all of us were probably just a little. Not I don't know what the right word for it is really. Not like nervy or unsettled, but it was going into season 7. It was kind of like season 6 has been like this crazy success. You know, is it going to happen again? And then it just rockets up again. It's just kind of ridiculous. Like there'll be a peak. There'll be a peak at some point, but man, is it like such a fantastic journey. Do a 360 spin camera shot angle while you fly, design Master Chef. Well, it depends if like it warrants that. When I'm playing and I'm moving about, if something happens and you know I think about it from the perspective of the camera angle, then it might warrant that. But depends. If you watched my time lapse that I did, there were 2 clever edits. One was like transitioning from one shot to the other by following me flying off the top of the building and going to the next bit. That took a bit of work to figure out. And then the other one was I had a static camera angle, and then I would jump from the top to the bottom. And when I jumped, I kind of realized like the camera needs to follow it. So static camera angle, and then I make this jump, and it like, vroom, and you watch me like fall down, and then it's in this new static camera angle. That's a really cool little technique. That's the sort of thing that you wouldn't figure out on replay mod straight away. The way you do that on replay mod is you have to change the type of interpolation that the camera path takes. If you set it to having no interpolation, it will remain static until you give it a different interpolation. So you go static, then you give it the default, and it will create like a nice natural path, and then you set it to static again, and then it just stays still. Do you know how TFC is going? I don't. TFC went back to hospital, and I haven't heard a single thing since. So, of course, hope he's doing well. We got noises in the ear from Lizard Gaming. Thank you ever so much, Lizard Gaming, for your subscription. I appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. And peeps, we got 6,000 people watching. My goodness me. There's a lot of you here. Be sure to hit the follow button. And also visit livestream.hermitcraft.com to see the schedule today. People are saying he's in rehab and he's doing well. Well, that's good to hear. There we go. Shotgun says, do you have Discord? I do, but it is no longer public. Warful says, thank you so much for your reply. Which do you think is better? 10-minute heavy workout every day or 1 hour normal workout a few times a week? I'm not fat at all. I couldn't get to read the rest of that. I think what is best is to, I use a strong word here, immerse, but, you know, basically, there isn't no right or wrong answer. It's all about what's specific to your goals. So if you want to do fat loss, you should do research into what are the different outcomes of doing it. And just off the top of my head, of all the things I've watched about fat loss, I can tell you, first of all, there's no cheap tricks, right? There's no simple hacks, so avoid anyone who's trying to sell you something, some sort of product, supplement. You don't need that for fat loss. What you need is to put in the work and effort. Now, as for some of these like high intensity interval training and slow intensity but longer duration stuff, it probably more or less boils down to preference. Like, it's probably better to focus on what you can do as opposed to what's supposed to be better, because a lot of the time when people argue over fitness and what's the better way to do things, they're talking about like very incremental differences, you know, so it's probably better to focus on what's doable for you. One thing I'd say is really good for fat loss in my experience is intermittent fasting. If you learn about intermittent fasting, you'll probably find a lot of good information about it, first of all. But if you're capable of doing that, you'll probably find it will help you with burning fat, because you're eating in a shorter window of time, and it means your body has to kind of turn to your fatty reserves to create energy when you're exercising. Exercising fasted is supposed to be a little bit more beneficial for that, but again, not by much. So if you don't enjoy it fasted, then, you know, it's not the biggest thing. Tracking calories is just a very great way to help you actually know what you're taking in and out. Although if you start tracking calories, you're never going to look at food the same way again, but I think that's a good thing, man. Like, tracking calories gave me a great relationship to food, because it got me focused on making sure I was eating lots of healthy, fresh, nutritious food. I kind of instinctively now know a lot more about how much I'm eating and how much I need to eat each day, and, you know, the amount of proteins and carbohydrates. Like, it gives you a real kind of understanding of what you're putting into your body. You know, your body is the Ferrari. You're not going to go and put sugar in it, right? Don't put sugar in the engine. I don't mean like sugar. I mean like the whole putting sugar in a car thing. Anyway, to give you a more specific answer to your question, though, I think just overall time that you're putting in is what's important, right? So if doing smaller workouts more consistently is good for you, I would say go do that, but you know, work on just increasing it a little bit every day. Maybe like it's 20 minutes one week, then it's 22, then it's 24, and you'll naturally build up your ability to do that. And then before you know it, you might be doing 40-minute workouts a day and enjoying it. So then you'd have progressed. So the trick is probably whatever you choose to do to focus on progression over time. Someone in chat, Disturbed Puppy I think it was, says, Pop-Tarts are bad, they're 400 calories for 2. Yeah, I kind of like Pop-Tarts, but I went through a phase of like remembering old candies and stuff. You know, here's my like dietary timeline, right? Went from eating bad to then becoming really quite conscious of weight and health and diet, and I was incredibly like strict on diet for a very long time. Like, I did not eat any sugary stuff. I didn't eat puddings, chocolate bars, anything like that. And then I kind of got to a point where like my physique, like I clearly like reached where I wanted to go, and I could now probably start to enjoy stuff again. Like, I didn't even have curries, and I love curry. I went like years without having takeaway food at all. But you know, the thing is, you can have a Pop-Tart. Like, it's like I said earlier, it's eating them over and over again that's the problem. And I went through a little phase of like remembering, oh yeah, Pop-Tarts, and then I like brought some and enjoyed them, but then they were kind of like not very filling. So I kind of got over that. I don't really care much for Pop-Tarts. Curry isn't bad food, it all depends on how you make them, says Cake Poet. Good point, yeah. Well, takeaway curry is a bit notorious for being cooked with, is it called ghee? This like super fatty butter, I think, or lard, or something like that. And it's really rich in calories. So obviously, if it's the only meal you eat in a day, you know, it can not be so bad on that front. But I don't think, you know, takeaway curry isn't considered to be the healthiest. I could be mistaken. But homemade curry, absolutely. You can make some really good, healthy homemade curry. I made some the other day that was gorgeous. I mixed like korma and Indian spice together, and it tasted great. I just had that with some like onion and pasta because that was what was left over before I went shopping again. Ghee is amazing, says Existential Pineapple. Apparently ghee is healthy. Oh, I'll have to look that up then. I mean, I always associate butter with being unhealthy. And thanks to a lot of like vegan propaganda type movies that I watched way back when, I still kind of look at dairy and cheese in those sorts of lights as well. I don't really have a lot of dairy. I do have a bit of cheese. I don't really drink milk too often. I like coconut milk. But man, there's so much mixed information on that stuff. Like, you can find people saying like dairy and all that's the worst thing ever, and other people saying it's fine. It's so tricky, so difficult. But through my own experiences, there's like clearly, you know, if you're going to eat slabs of cheese every day, you're probably going to end up going over your calories. Is the problem. Everything in life, it just depends on the amount. Healthy is a balanced diet. It's that easy, I think. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said this just in the last stream, I think, like the idea of a balanced diet, it kind of depends on what you know about diet as well. Like, if there's something you think is fine to eat every day that maybe isn't, you might be, you know, like what does it mean? Like balanced? Are you going to have a McDonald's every other day? That's like, in my mind, you shouldn't have a McDonald's more than once a month. Like, there's different interpretations of what the balance is, I guess. So, and that's based on all the kind of stuff you know. Eldon says, calories are unimportant. I eat upwards of 4,000 a day. I'm 15 in good shape, mostly muscle. Yeah, no, calories are important because you can't break the first law of thermal dynamics. So you can't take in more energy and not have it be stored as fat. The thing is, when you're 15, your body is like raging with hormones and you're just going to be like burning off a lot of what you put in your body. So yeah, if you're 15, you can get away with probably eating a lot more. You also say you got muscle mass. Muscle mass like takes calories to maintain. It's one of the reasons like I got into working out and went like further along with it and tried to build muscle, is because I have like a big problem with eating, or I did. Feel like I've got it under control these days. So if I can put on muscle, it helps me like eat as much as my stomach wants to, right? So I can eat a lot more calories. Like I eat, you know, if I weren't cutting right now, I'd be eating about 3,500 a day myself. But I'm not a teenager. If I were a teenager, it'd probably be more than that. But like, yeah, you can't break the first rule of thermodynamics. So it on some level it is about calories in, calories out, right? But not everyone has to calorie count. You can lose weight, you can do your objectives without doing it. It's just underneath it all, food is energy. So you know, if you ate tons more than you burned off, you would put on weight. That's just the science of it. I should gain some muscle, says Crap. I think everyone should work out, really, especially in times like this. I mean, the best thing you can do to prepare yourself, well, prepare, that sounds like it's going to happen, but to protect yourself is to keep your immune system strong and keep your body in good health in these times, right? Keep in shape, because if you get ill, the better shape you're in, the better your chances are of getting past these things, getting over them. Will you do an Asuma's World nostalgia tour next year to celebrate 10 years, says Epic Chicken Gamer? I don't know. I feel like one of the traditions in earlier seasons of Hermitcraft, probably up until like Hermitcraft Season 4, is that we did periodic episodes where we would tour old worlds. But then I think we did one in Season 6 and that was it. And I just feel like jumping back to old seasons, I've done that, and I know there's a bunch of new people But they can always go and find that stuff. It's on there on YouTube. So I don't really feel like a Nostalgia World Tour, because I've actually done that Nostalgia World Tour already, you know? So I kind of feel like doing the whole going back and looking at old worlds thing is perhaps not something I'm going to do too much anymore. I'm too heavy, but honestly, I'm usually too depressed to actively change my habits right now. Hopefully once Corona is over, I can get a sponsored program. I need outside accountability. Outside accountability. I think you should take the accountability on yourself, right? Like, you know, you're saying you're feeling depressed. These things are like a feedback loop with one another, right? If you don't exercise, you don't take care of your body, your mind's gonna go in that direction as well. Pushing in the other direction, taking care of your body, your mind can come with it. And that doesn't happen in a day, doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it's difficult, it's hard work, but you've got to take accountability for your own situation. If you're looking for outside accountability, in my mind, for most people, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to take full responsibility for your situation and then undertake the actions to change and amend them. And, you know, the act of looking for a future date to do something, like, you might hear me talk about, oh, we'll do this thing in the future, right? Like, I kind of know where I'm at, and when I tell myself, like, one day I'm going to get back into running again or whatever, it's because, like, I'm divvying up my time doing all sorts of different things, but I know I'm capable of doing that. But there's also this other way of talking to yourself like that, where you're like, I'll do it tomorrow, right? Tomorrow never comes. It's all about taking accountability and doing it, like taking control and making the decisions and pulling the trigger. Like, you have to do that, because tomorrow never comes. If it's, oh, after Corona, there'll be a new reason after Corona that you can't do it. So dude, like, take accountability of your situation. No one else is going to fix it for you. The actual nose Vol says, I'd be very careful about giving advice about depression, Asuma. It's got many causes, so you'd be at risk of generalizing. Sure, okay. Yeah, I mean, you might have clinical depression or, you know, something a little bit more than just general depression. But my experience with depression is just that, like, the way out of it for me was just to get myself in good health. It's like the body came with the mind, and I've heard so many other people say that, but, you know, if I'm transparent about that, like I'm trying to be right now, then you take that information, you take what I said. That doesn't mean you have to do what I said and follow, just account it into your own situation, I guess. That's why I feel like with anything we ever talk about, and with being able to talk about things in general, like the act of listening to someone talk about something, you know, whoever's talking should be honest and tell you where they get their information from and try and divulge the thought process, because you're not listening in the act of following, you're listening in the act of being enriched by what someone else is saying and being able to take that information and use it in your own way, essentially. Exercise might not be a mental health magic bullet, but it's never going to be bad for depression, says Kineos. Yeah, that's a statement I'd also agree with, right? You can't really fail from trying to exercise, because, I mean, there's so much, you know, information on it. Like, it's undisputably good to keep your body in good shape, and your body puts endorphins and stuff into your brain when you exercise, and that's why there's that strong link between mental health and physical health. Might not be the cure for everyone, but there's a good chance it can make a difference, at least. Someone uninteresting said, I used to have depression, and the way I got better was by exercising and going on long runs and blasting music. That's what I did too, dude. Lots of runs with music. Good times. Right, noises in the ear. We've got Wart Pixel with a donation and no message. So thank you ever so much, Wart. I appreciate that. We got IJSMXY subscribing. We got Tumbling Tornado and Martini God 14 is subscribed. Thank you ever so much, peeps. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. X, why don't you just trade with villagers to get clay? Because I've got no villagers. Toby1 Kenobi says, wait, you had depression? Well, it's a weird thing. When I was younger, I was like miserable a lot, in a more like existential way, I guess you could say. I had good times, I had fun. Like, it's ups and downs. Like, there were good times, there were bad times, but there were a lot of bad times. And looking back on it now, I didn't have the arsenal of tools in terms of introspection, thoughts and feelings, understanding oneself. Like, I didn't have a lot of that to get myself through things. So I wouldn't no longer call it like depression as in clinical depression. But I would have at the time. I definitely thought I had something wrong with me. But now I look back and I feel differently about that, right? I feel like it's like a mental trap. Like, you can get stuck in a bad way of thinking and feeling. And as I sort of said, the way out, exercise, big part of that. But yeah, I would have described myself then as being depressed, like most of the time, but like not all of the time, I guess. Like it was, there were ups and downs. Does the salmon on your hot bar taste nice? Let's eat. I think that's a way of asking me to eat. That's more or less kind of depression. Sorry to hear you felt something like that, says Pig Puncher. I appreciate your words there. I mean, I'm over it now. Like, it's not a big deal to me anymore. It's just, that's life. Like, you're on a road and it goes from one place to another. I'm very happy that I got myself away from that. But it's a weird thing to look back on because it's kind of like really distant now. Ah. Effing Awesome says, what are your thoughts on teenage girls faking depression for attention? I would not assume someone is faking depression for attention. Okay, that's a bad step to take. That's a bad starting place to start, right? Assuming someone is doing it for attention. Let's get that out of the way. If someone claims to be depressed, I believe you should take them seriously. If I look at how I used to act and behave when I was a teenager, if someone had said I was doing things for attention, I'd almost maybe agree, but doing something for attention, maybe it's not like you just want attention. It's almost like an outcry or an emotional response, like that perhaps you as a person don't fully understand what you're doing. So looking back on my own behavior, things that I did, I would now say, like, you shouldn't assume someone is doing something for attention. Like, part of being depressed can lead you to behave in ways that seem like attention grabbing. It's like you don't know how to deal with what's going on, and that can lead you to do like crazy and drastic things. So something's wrong. Oh no, this just needs to be one wider. So yeah, so anyway, and also the generalization, like you sort of created a group with that statement. I always think it's bad to create groups and generalize, because you'll apply your experiences with one thing onto something else, and that can be a dangerous thing to do. Right, that's this box here, pretty much set up for some redstone to go inside of it. I don't have those other ones. Let's go get those other block types that we need in this area. Boom. We got a lot of clay, by the way. Having some level of attention from others is literally part of our health as social animals, says Lapinelli. Ah, well, there you go. There you go. So maybe, like, being deprived of particular types of attention from other people may cause someone to act out and then behave in a way where you might go, oh, they're doing that for attention. Like, don't think of someone doing something for attention as just being like them being a bad person or something. Like, realize it might be more complex than that. Okay, this might mean that someone is suffering in another part of their life, and this is the way it's being expressed. Maybe they don't even realize they're doing it. Like, looking back at my old behaviors and things I got involved with, it was all like a big mess of like just not knowing how to deal with stuff, and then it just manifests in different ways. We got noises in the ear. We got Minna Emilia. I think I got it right in the end. Saying the clay looks like grey meat on a bone. I guess, yeah, I can see that. There's the bone, there's the meat. Grey meat. Spywar says we need social interaction. That's why isolation was a punishment. I wouldn't call it a punishment because I don't think a virus particularly acts with intent that relates to our level of thinking. And I don't think governments and people imposing lockdowns were trying to harm people. I think they were trying to protect people from the perceived dangers of not going into a lockdown, of proceeding as normal. I love isolation. I'm having the best time of my life now, says Ash Poker. Well, you know, enjoy it then. It's working out for you, that's great. I'm doing alright because my lifestyle is, you know, working my ass off on this most of the time. Like, and I love doing that. So I've been doing okay, but I have really, like, had some... Over the last week, had some just like days where I'm like, oh man, this keeps going on. I want to see people. So it's been a little bit tricky here and there, but for the most part, I'm doing all right. I wouldn't complain myself just because I'm far more like adaptable to doing this. But yeah, the social distancing thing, it's physical distancing. Remember, people, like it's important to socialise if you can, FaceTime. With family and friends, all that stuff. If you need it, make sure you're doing it. Gregorius Big says, I'm getting married in August and it's a bit stressed out about that. Well, you know, whatever's going to happen in the future, like, society's going to change as a result of all these things going on. So, just be prepared for things to not quite go to plan. And, things may change and be out of your control. The norm might not be as such. And, you know, don't let it get it to you too much. When things are out of your control, focus on what's in your control, right? I mean, maybe you could use it as an opportunity to do a different type of wedding. You know, get married over the internet and invite all your friends to watch and family over Zoom. Like, I don't know, like you could try and turn it into an opportunity to do something different. Make it memorable in a different way. We got Merlot here with a donation saying, I just wanted to say I've been struggling really hard with depression and your wise words are really helping me. You're also my favourite hermit. Oh shoot, could have just spilt water on my computer, but I didn't. And I love what you have to offer. Thank you. I appreciate your kind message there, dude. As you say, you're saying like your wise words are helping. Now, this is almost like just a circle, because how I found my way out of it was by constantly listening to podcasts, reading books, finding information like this, which I'm sharing with you now, and like internalizing it, and it helped me like build up a set of thoughts to go to, a set of like rational kind of ways of thinking about what's going on in my own mind, right, and in the world. And so it's always been a habit of mine to just listen to these kind of like philosophical, helpful, self-help podcasts, books, loads of them over the years. And by immersing yourself in that kind of stuff, it's eventually like going to end up being second nature, and that's really powerful. So if you're struggling, like, please do try to surround yourself and get yourself, you know, exposed to these types of things, right? Like these self-help books and whatnot, because if you keep at it, like eventually it will get in your head and in your mind and help you get to where you need to go. Right, let's put this little pillar in here. And I just want to double check how I did the pillars over there. Therapy through video calls isn't as good as in person, but it's better than nothing. If you need help, do ask for help. There are services out there that do that. I don't know the names of them, but of course you got Google and you can research and that stuff. Yep, therapy. I mean, a lot of the times people are going to be uncomfortable with that, but it can be worthwhile if you can get past that discomfort. A lot of growth in life is getting past discomfort as well. Like doing things that you're uncomfortable with eventually makes you comfortable with them. And that might just sound like, yeah, duh, but like you got to internalize like the literal sense of that, because then you might see it. You might see it somewhere, and I didn't realize that that's what was going on. I'd highly recommend an organisation called Someone to Tell It To, says Jarmisted. Well, there you go. You got a recommendation in chat if anyone needs it. Somewhere to look up and check out. I got social anxiety and mild depression. What I do to help myself is to do small thing. It scrolled off the top of the screen. I really wanted to read the rest of that message. I really need a pause button on this thing. Jeez. I suggested it to Slobs and they were like, nope. In fact, it was kind of weird because I already had. I used to have a different system for reading my chat, and the dev who made it for me, Autumn, shout outs to Autumn, made a pause button, and it was just the simplest thing. And I explained it to Slobs, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't do that." And I was like, "What?" It's like the simplest thing. It's like not difficult. As you can tell, I get a little bit annoyed with Slobs. Even though they're great and the program's free. Just a couple of really annoying things they do. Like auto updates. Goh. Vernati is here with a donation saying, the voice and the music is so calming. Almost like a motivation meeting. Thanks for your videos. Awesome, dude. I'm glad it can be motivating. But as you know what I say. Discipline first. Forget motivation. No, I'm not going to go down that road again. Thank you so much for the donation, dude. Appreciate it. Your country will also have some national hotlines as well. Yes, they do, yeah. I mean, you know, it can all just start with a search, right? Just search that you need help. Never be afraid to say you need help with something. All right? It's similar to that whole... the stupid question is the question that doesn't get asked. Why? Because like you shouldn't be afraid of not knowing something. And if you ask, you have the opportunity to learn. If you're wrong about something, it gives you the opportunity to be right. It's kind of like that in a weird way. You know? It's an opportunity to get better, to ask. Is this supposed to be one block lower? It is supposed to be one block lower. How could I get it so wrong? A lot of self-help advice is obvious, but useless if you don't make it become a habit, says KL Blaz. Yes, I kind of agree. I would say not a lot of it is that obvious. It's more just like, it's obvious when you're hearing it, but not very often do we figure that out to begin with. Like, you don't sort of start knowing all these things. So luckily there's people that like investigate, research, and spend time figuring things out, and then they write books. I think that was actually at the right height. I just managed to confuse myself. Oh jeez, this is the problem with this. I need to get every little bit of this like completely right, otherwise it won't work. So yeah, anyway, just the act of like constantly engaging with that stuff, like it becomes second nature. Some of the ideas from it, right? Okay, so if I build it at this, yeah, how did I totally goofed there. It was at the right height, and then I was like, no it's not, and then what am I doing? I'm waffling. I'm not focusing. We got Butterchoke, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much. And Rafi Warren is here with a donation saying, thanks for you talking about depression. I'm struggling really hard with it myself, and hearing you helps a bit. Hoping to get over that crap one day. You can get there, man. You can get there. You can do it. Anyone can do it. It's doable. Just keep your chin up. And always be trying. Always be trying to get to that better place. Because I'm not talking about like a positive mental attitude thing, right? Like, don't go around saying I'm happy even when you're not. Be real with yourself, but be trying. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate it. Burnix is listening to you as a podcast while I'm doing a puzzle. Very satisfying. Awesome, dude. I don't think I could do... I love puzzles with music. When I'm listening to words, it kind of soaks up a lot of my attention. Right, how wide is this thing again? I seem to just... We've definitely got that first bit right. Definitely got that first bit right. think it comes out one more block. 2 and then clay. That's how it goes. So 1, 2 and then clay. Yeah. Yeah, one more block. So it would be there. By the way, I think I'm completely out of this material and I need to put more of it through the blast chamber. Which you could do now, actually. Could make a little bit more on the fly. Now that I've learned that it's like 2 and then this, I'm gonna go do that over on the next one. That's gonna save me so much time. 1, 2, and then it's here. Alright, 1, 2, then it's there. Oh, I tell you what, that's gonna go off the top of the screen. I need to pick ones from the bottom. Hey X, do you enjoy physical education in school, or did you enjoy as you got it much older? School was so awful for me. I couldn't appreciate anything really. PE was awful. Didn't like it at all. I appreciated physical activity when I got older. It was when I started to become conscious of health and stuff that then I started to exercise. And at first, like I really was just doing it because I had like a goal of losing weight. And then, you know, it started to get a bit more enjoyable, and I kind of fancied myself as like being someone who did some running and whatnot. And yeah, went through a period of then running consistently, then started to become interested more in my diet, and then it just kept like going up to one level after another basically. And then, you know, like to like where I'm at now, it's like it's almost hardcore now. It's like I'm really like into it. And I went for a run again yesterday. I hadn't done a run for a while because I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII, and then I was like, right, kind of need to keep this up at least, like keep maintaining it. I enjoyed it, but I can feel it in my legs today, like my hamstrings are a bit tight. That's what happens if you don't run for a couple of weeks. It'll knock you off your socks a little bit. Not really, but oh my goodness me, my voice is getting strained today. Rox Kitten says, can't run at the moment because of my stupid knee. It's driving you crazy. Dude, best thing to do is to, I know it sucks, but make sure you recover properly, right? Don't take any half chances trying to get back on it. You can potentially make it worse. And I know it's frustrating, but yeah, you know, think in the long run. You don't want to keep injuring it over and over again. Take the time you need to recover, and then it'll be back to normal one day in the future, you know. Right, we've got noises in the ear. We've got Dear Chemi here with a donation saying, wishing you and everyone a great weekend, a great week to come. Because I believe in y'all. Thank you ever so much, dear. I appreciate that. We've got Claudius2357 for 2 months, and we've got Rayman282 with a donation saying, not to be rude or anything, but your voice tone kind of sounds like you have no sense of humour. So hearing you cracking jokes sounds odd, but I like it. Loving the stream and keep doing what you're doing. That's fine by me, you know. I've got a sense of humour, I believe. I mean, apparently I crack jokes occasionally, but you know, whatever works, man. Like that's the way you hear it. That's fine by me, not a problem. I'm just glad, you know, you're here enjoying it. That's awesome. Thank you for your donation, man. Appreciate it. Right. We were good. We were good today. We were relatively productive. It seems like whenever I come over here to work on this, though, it's just really slow. But bit by bit, we're getting some of this stuff together now, which is great. By the way, my plans for this, I thought about it a little more. I'd really like to make this project sort of extend more towards my base. So we're going to have a tower around here, and then we're going to have a junction somewhere over there, probably at this next tree. So let's hop over here and get to the top of it. We do have time to talk about this for a second. So I'm probably going to have a junction here that goes in that direction and this direction, so we can expect to see like 3 towers. I might try and line them up with one another as well. So yeah, I'll probably put like another junction here. Yeah, and that over there, that's nothing. That's an old plan right there. That's what that is. So yeah, tying it all together. So when we have like, you know, when you're flying around the base, the whole idea is that you're going to be able to see lots of buildings all over the place. And it just takes time, right? Got to do them one by one. Going to be doing one over here in Friday's episode of Hermitcraft. That's for. Blueberry says we're getting close to the end of the stream. Ah. Well, there's more Hermitcraft action though, right? There's Rendiggity Dog, the one and only. So if you enjoy the Hermitcraft, it don't end now. I'll be streaming again on Tuesday. My current plan is to stream 4 days a week and 3 videos on YouTube. However, that's probably going to change. It always does. Once I'm on top of other stuff like cleaning the house and little jobs are all taken care of, I'm going to have more time to do stuff. Iron Faces isn't Zedaf next. That was yesterday that Zedaf followed us. Ravage Minus says, "Hey X, I love your snapshot videos. You do a great job. Keep up the work." Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. I enjoy making them. We got Nebula1 resubscribing. Or sorry, just subscribing. Tier 3. Nebula1 as a Tier 3 subscriber. You can head over to assumavoid.com. You can click on... Hang on, I'm making a note about this because I need to make a plug for my screen. You can click on Get Whitelisted. You can get whitelisted using your Tier 3 Twitch subscription on our Let's Play Minecraft Together server, which, by the way, is going to be resetting, and in 1.16 we're going to do Season 2 of Let's Play Minecraft Together. We threw out the idea of giving it a different name, but people really liked the Let's Play Minecraft Together name. The reason it had that is because it was originally about playing together on a YouTube series, and then when that YouTube series ended for me, we sort of thought, well, it's not really that anymore, but people like the name, and I think it's a cool name because it's about community. There's a lot of community activity on that server, so the together thing is kind of like, you know, the people on there playing together. Whatever says LPMT is back, yay. Well, it never went away. It's been there, but it's not coming back to my YouTube channel. There's just going to be a Season 2 of it. So that's kind of the deal. Oh, we should probably tell Ren... And by the way, Fool's built a really cool shop over here, and it's no longer spoilers. Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. You know, one day I want to be able to build like that. That's what I'm going to do in Season 8, because I know if I could probably pull off something like this if I spent a lot of time on it. And that's the trade-off I don't look for at the moment. I don't look for like the detail. Although when you actually see tomorrow's episode, there is actually like some serious detail going on. And you know, one day I can dream of ascending to this kind of level of detail. But that day I'll never... But by the time I get there, Scar has beat Minecraft, basically. If I ever learned to build like this, the amount of time it would take me, I'll tell you, Scar would have beaten Minecraft. Okay? Dabby1 is here with Cheers and Bits saying thanks for this brilliant stream. Thank you for your cheers and bits, dude. I appreciate it. Do a podcast, please, X, says the Flash. Maybe one day in the future. I always like the idea of doing a podcast. I just... Oh, never able to make it come together, really. And I think we've got a Rendiggity Dog over here. The man who blew up his own base. Hey, he's looking very blue. Bow to me, for I am orange. I am orange. Oh, Ren's bowing. Awesome. Let's see if he's good. Is he live? He's ready to go? Because it's 3 minutes early, but if Ren wants to pick it up now, I mean, I can chat with you guys for 3 more minutes, or we can hand it over to Ren. So let's see what Ren wants to do. He is good to go. Well, we'll hand it over a few minutes early. That means you get a few more minutes of the Rendiggity Dog. So this is me passing the torch over to Ren. If you want to continue watching the stream, it'll be taking place over on Ren's channel. So before you head out of here, be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. I appreciate all your support. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to everyone just tuning in. And thank you to Isaac from Discord for the donation that just came in right as I'm closing it down. So I'll read it to myself in a minute. Peeps, hit the raid button in chat because that's it. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.